Love is not about possession. Love is not about control. Love is not about covering yourself or dimming your own light to make sure that no one finds you attractive. I honestly did not expect such an overwhelming response to my tweet. I'll pop the tweet up right over here so that you can see what I'm talking about if you don't follow me on Twitter. But a lot of the time when I tweet, I just kind of say what I have to say. I don't have any other like intentions to like go viral or have anything blow up or anything like that. So for this particular tweet to blow up the way that it did, honestly was very eye-opening to me, and also very heartbreaking because so many of you related to what I had said. And the fact that so many of you can relate and have been in these similar situations, and my DMs got so flooded with so many of you telling me your stories, and it's just, there's no way that I could just ignore all of that. I have healed myself from such a toxic situation, and I've learned to love myself again and redefine what love is for me, and I want that for others, not just girls but men too, because women can also be the abuser and be toxic in relationships and cause trauma as well. So for anybody who has endured a toxic and, you know, mentally or emotionally abusive relationship, I want to be able to help you if I can, to kind of find yourself again and redefine who you are, because it's so easy to lose yourself and lose your sense of self when you're in a situation like that. If you haven't been in a situation like that, it's very hard to describe the type of effect that it can have and how it can stay with you for years and years, even far after the relationship has ended and you've moved on and you're in a new relationship. I mean, the effects of the toxicness can really last for quite some time. If you sent me a DM, by the way, about that tweet, I will be getting back to you. I just got so many of them. Honestly, like, my DMs have become flooded with all of your stories, and you're all very important to me, and I want to be able to answer each and every one of you as to the best that I can. So if you haven't gotten a response from me yet, just be patient, and I will be getting back to you. Just give me a little time because there's a lot of them. But this video is not about, I'm not here to trash talk anybody. I'm not here to, you know, I'm not really telling the story of what exactly happened. It's more, I want to tell the story of how I overcame all of those things, how I learned to love myself again, how I healed myself, how I worked through the trauma, and how I was able to find love for myself and for others, and trust for others and in myself again. So that's what this video is about. It's about healing and overcoming. So if you were here for like a spill the tea, story time type of thing, I'm sorry to disappoint, but it's not my vibe. It's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to help, potentially help as many of you as I can with healing and learning to just freely be yourself again without anything holding you back. So just like a slight, not even really just like a backstory, just kind of like a preface for this video. When I was younger, and this was many years ago, I was in a relationship with somebody who was emotionally and mentally abusive. There were certain things I wasn't allowed to do. I couldn't talk to the opposite sex. I couldn't post pictures of myself on the internet. Like, there was just so many like rules and things that I had to abide by, and all of those things added up, truly affected how I viewed myself, how I viewed love, and how I treated myself and how I carried myself. So fast forward to about a year and a half ago, I went to see a therapist about my anxiety, because that has always been prevalent in my life, even before this relationship, and just for, you know, even like during high school, I just remember having anxiety, and I never really talked to anybody about it. So I went to go see this therapist, and I only saw her a few times because I couldn't really afford it. I couldn't really afford to continue it because I was paying for it out of pocket. But she not only diagnosed me with generalized anxiety disorder, but she also diagnosed me with PTSD from this relationship. Because I kept asking her, I said, you know, this happened to me so many years ago. Why do, you know, I'm in a happy relationship now, I've completely moved on, but why why do I still have these, you know, this negative mindset towards certain things, and why do I still hold on to these toxic viewpoints, and why am I treating myself this way still? And she explained to me that when you go through something like that, that is so traumatic and it really just affects you, it can stick with you. So if you are someone who went through a toxic relationship years ago, but still to this day, you are still affected mentally by these things and emotionally, and it's affecting the way you treat yourself in your current relationships, that doesn't make you crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. That's completely normal. Completely normal. I just wanted to say that there's nothing wrong with you if you still feel some of the negative effects from a toxic relationship years after it's passed. That doesn't mean you aren't over the person or anything like that. It's just the trauma and the feelings that you have for that person are completely separate. I'm married, I'm in a very healthy relationship, and my husband is someone who helped me redefine what love actually is and what it should actually look like. And just because, you know, for many years, even during my relationship with him, I dealt with the aftermath of the toxic relationship. That didn't take away my feelings for him. That didn't mean I wasn't over my ex or anything like that. Trauma and those feelings are completely separate. Just throwing that out there. When it comes to healing yourself after going through something so toxic and so emotionally and mentally draining, there is no shortcut. You know, depending on how long the relationship is and the severity of, you know, the abuse, whether it was emotional, mental, or even physical, it can take years. I mean, honestly, it could take years of healing and self-reflection and self-work and just patience with yourself. It's not, you know, you don't get over years of trauma in, you know, a couple months. It takes a very long time. If you haven't been through it, you just don't understand. It can take so much time to heal. So be patient with yourself. That's my first, I guess, tip or piece of advice when you're trying to heal yourself from these types of situations. Be patient with yourself. There is no rush on the healing process. You do not need to be completely healed and over it and, you know, rid yourself of all the negative mental effects that you've been left with in a couple months, even in a couple years. Be patient with yourself and allow it to just happen, you know, in its own time. You can't force it, and everyone's different. Everyone takes a different amount of time to heal, and that's okay. So one of the things that I did that took me quite some time to work on was I had to redefine my personal definition of love, because in the past it was, you know, to me love was correlated with not talking to anyone with the opposite sex, or not talking to anyone of the opposite sex. You know, covering yourself, not showing your body, not being confident in yourself, because confidence means you want attention. Confidence means you're looking for someone to validate you, and you're, you know, just seeking attention. So avoid doing anything that might make someone else feel attracted to you. I felt like it was my responsibility to make sure no one else was attracted to me, and I just associate that with love. Love means you make sure no one else is attracted to you so that your partner is comfortable. And I held on to so many of these things that just leaked, you know, into my current relationship in the very beginning stages, and it just affected how I viewed love so deeply. And I needed to redefine that, from not just for myself, but so I could have healthy relationships moving forward, because love is not about possession. Love is not about control. Love is not about covering yourself or dimming your own light to make sure that no one finds you attractive. You can't control who looks at you. You can't control who finds you attractive. You can't control other people's reactions to what you do. That's not your responsibility. You are not responsible for how others perceive you. You are not responsible for who looks at you. You are not responsible for who finds you attractive. That has nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing. And understanding that was really, really difficult for me, because for so long I thought it was my responsibility to make sure no one found me attractive, and it was my responsibility to make sure no one looked at me in a way that might make, you know, my partner uncomfortable. But that's not your responsibility, and love is not about, you know, someone telling you what to do, even if they tell you it's based off of love. Like, I don't want you wearing that because I love you and I don't want anyone to look at you the wrong way. I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want you to be exposed to danger by looking like that or dressing that or wearing that, or I don't want you going out past this time because it could be dangerous. It's because I care about you. It's because I love you. A partner is not a second parent. They should not be telling you what to dress, how to dress, who to talk to, what to wear, where you can go, what time you can go, who you can hang out with, who you can talk to. That isn't up to them. That isn't okay for them to tell you those things to do. And again, that was something that took me a very long time to understand, because when it's justified as I'm saying this because I love you, or I'm doing this out of love, or it's because I care about you, you think like, well, this must be what love is then. If they're telling me I can't wear this because they care about me, or they're telling me I shouldn't go to this place with these people because they love me and they care about me, then you start to associate love and care with those controlling tendencies. And that's how people get stuck in these types of relationships. That's how people don't leave right away. That's how these things can go on for years and years and years. It's a manipulation. These things are masked by love and care and want and adoration, but they're actually just controlling. They're manipulative. And that's not what love is. And that realization for me did not come until after the relationship had ended, when I started to see what love actually looked like, and I started to really question these things. When it was all said and done, I would just, kind of go over these things in my head and think about like, well, it doesn't seem very loving to tell someone what they can and can't wear. It doesn't seem, very loving to tell someone who they can and can't talk to, or, what pictures they can and can't post on the internet. Like, that seems more like something a parent would try to do to their child or their teenager. That doesn't sound like something that a significant other should do to you. Sorry, my camera died, and I'm finishing this video on my phone because I don't have a second battery and I don't want to lose my train of thought. So anyways, back to what I was saying. When I just started going over all of that stuff in my head, it just didn't make sense for it to be correlated with love. It just didn't. Love is supposed to be freeing. It's supposed to be empowering. It's supposed to feel good. It's supposed to make you, jump for joy and just feel like warm. It's not supposed to make you feel like you're walking on eggshells and that you have to be careful of what you do or what you say or who you talk to, because you might set them off. They might say something to you. They might be mean to you. They might demean you. It shouldn't feel like you have to restrict who you are as a person, and restrict the things that make you feel empowered, and restrict, the types of clothes you wear, even if you really like them and feel confident in them. There's no place for fear when it comes to love. You shouldn't be afraid of doing something or saying something or talking to someone or wearing something or posting something, and because you're afraid of how your partner is going to react. And this goes for both guys and girls, because girls can be just as guilty of this and just as toxic as men can be in this relationship. It goes both ways here. So you shouldn't be afraid to do anything. Someone who truly loves you accepts you for who you are. They accept you for, all that you are, and they don't mind whatever it is that you might do that makes you feel empowered, whether it's going to the gym or wearing tight clothes or posting bikini pictures on the internet, or whatever the case. A partner that truly loves you and trusts you and respects you will not tell you how to carry yourself, what to do, what to wear, etc. Because love is not about control or possession. If you hold certain morals, like if modesty is something that's really important to you, or sobriety is really important to you, you don't want to be around someone who drinks or smokes or does drugs or whatever the case, then find someone that has the same morals as you. There's nothing wrong with having your own set of morals and your own stance on things. What becomes wrong is trying to impose those morals on someone that may disagree with you. And if you're someone that really prioritizes modesty, don't go and date someone who is not modest and try to change them, because that in itself can become toxic, a toxic relationship, trying to change them and trying to tell someone that they need to be like this when they're the opposite. If you have morals, that's fine. Find someone who shares those same morals with you. That's it. But the bottom line is that love is not about possession. It's not about control. It's not about making sure no one looks at you. It's not your responsibility to make sure no one finds you attractive. None of that is love. And being able to come to that realization and to really grasp that is one of the most difficult things, but so vitally important for the healing process. Not just for yourself, but in order to have potential future relationships as well, as understanding and grasping and redefining what love actually is, and throwing away all of the old beliefs of love that you once had from that toxic relationship. Another thing that really helped me just to find myself again, because after this relationship I felt lost. I didn't know who I was. I didn't really know what I liked anymore. I didn't know what I was into. I just lost my sense of self. And I just, had a lot of insecurities within myself, and I judged myself, and I didn't like the way that I looked, and I was just, not confident, very low self-esteem, just very insecure about who I was. I didn't have any love for myself after this ended initially. And what truly, honestly, and this might sound so like corny and cliche to some of you, but what honestly and truly really helped me to find self-love again, and to find self-worth, and to find something that I could channel my energy into, was working out. Everyone has their own different sort of outlet, and it doesn't have to, you don't have to go and, and hit the gym to find your self-worth. But my point is, you need to find an outlet, something that you can channel your energy into that makes you feel better as a person. And for me, that's working out. I love exercising. I love challenging myself to new things. I love watching my body change based on my goals, and changing my goals at different times for different challenges. That gave me something to channel my energy into, and it made me feel powerful. It gave me self-worth, and it made me feel confident. And everybody feels confident and empowered by different things. So it might take a little bit of self-reflection and meditation, and really thinking like, okay, what is it exactly that makes me feel empowered? What makes me feel good about myself? What makes me feel confident? It could be anything. I mean, honestly, it could be anything. We're all so different. For me, it was the gym. So your outlet can truly be anything that makes you feel empowered. But you want to go after those empowered feelings, something that makes you feel confident, makes you feel powerful, and just really do it as often as you can. Get into a routine of doing whatever this outlet is, and really focusing those empowering and confident feelings. There's just so many things that could go through your head. So finding something that you could channel all that energy into, something that you do just for you. It's for you. It's not for anybody else. You do this thing to make you feel good. It has nothing to do with anybody else. That is so important. It's just finding an outlet and doing things for yourself, like self-care. I know it's like face masks and bubble baths, whatever, but it's more than that. It's just doing things for yourself that make you feel good, that make you feel confident, that make you feel empowered, and doing them often. So for me, it was the gym. And I started really getting into the gym, and then I was taking progress pictures, and then I started getting more and more comfortable with taking pictures of myself. And I actually started to like how I looked. And that was very wild for me, because for a long time I did not have confidence or self-worth or self-esteem or any of that. So when I started to actually like how I looked, it was fun. It became very empowering and fun for me to like take a picture of myself and be like, I like this picture, instead of, wanting it to be deleted, or, not wanting to post it anywhere, just being really uncomfortable about having my picture taken in general. So that was fun. That was fun for me. And then I started, I had a blog for a little while, and then, I started doing YouTube, and I'll like set time for myself during the week to just chill and watch Netflix, and, have shows that I'm really interested in, or watch YouTube videos for a certain amount of time. Just things that I do for me that relax me and make me feel good about myself. But bottom line is, find something or multiple things that you could do for yourself that make you feel good. Just in general though, after getting out of something like this, you want to just take care of yourself in every way possible, because during that time, your emotional state and your mental state was so neglected. I mean, I've never personally been in a physically abusive relationship, but if you were, then your physical state was also neglected as well. So it's also very important to take care of yourself in every way possible. Be gentle with yourself, be patient with yourself. Don't get frustrated if your healing process takes years and years and years. Feed yourself healthy foods, drink more water, go outside more, go hiking, walking, exercise. Just do things that are generally good for you. Take care of yourself. Start taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself and doing things like that, finding the motivation for that is not always easy, especially when you throw a mental illness into play, like I have anxiety. So it's not always easy, but it is so important. It is so important to just take care of yourself in every sense of the word. Take care of yourself. And I just want to just end this on, if you are in this situation currently, you are not out of it yet, talk to somebody. Let someone know what's going on. Talk to someone that you trust. Because when you're in it, it's so easy to believe that that's what love is. It just becomes your normal. You accept it. You don't see anything wrong with it. You don't realize what you're actually going through. So if this is opening your eyes, or your eyes are starting to be kind of opened, or things are starting not to make sense to you, and you're just not feeling fulfilled in this relationship, and you feel more negative than positive, talk to somebody about it. Anyone that you trust, that you really, really trust, let them in and talk to them about this. Because the sooner that you talk to someone about this, the sooner that they can help you get out. Because getting out of a toxic situation like this is not always easy. You can't just, drop a hat and say, okay, I'm done. Because a lot of the times, if this person's mentally, verbally, emotionally, or even physically abusive, leaving could bring about more abuse. And just know that you are not alone. So many people have gone through situations like this and have come out on top. Me being an example that I went through an emotionally and mentally abusive relationship years ago, and it took years of self-reflection and taking care of myself and finding things that make me feel empowered and redefining my definition of love to fully heal myself and move past all of that toxic and negative just belief system that was instilled into my head. It is possible to overcome all of that. That's the reason why today I'll still tweet about this topic. I'll still talk about these things, because if my tweets about this kind of stuff, where I'm pointing out toxic behaviors and red flags and things that you should be, aware about in a relationship, if those just help one person get out of a toxic situation, or open just one person's eyes to something that they might be dealing with, a toxic situation that they did not realize, but now their eyes are a bit opened, that's all that matters to me. Because I'm at a point now where I've come out on top and I've overcame so much to be where I am now, that it would be selfish of me not to share that with others and not to try and help others get out of that situation as well. So I want you to know that it is very, very possible. It may take many years of work, but it is worth it, because it gets better and better over time, and you heal more and more over time. So be patient with yourself, talk to somebody, take care of yourself, redefine your definition of love, divulge yourself into hobbies and things that you do just for you, things that have nothing to do with anybody else. They are just for you. And my DMs on Twitter are always open. My email is always open. I check my email often, and I always see the majority of my emails. I check that a lot. DMs get flooded, but still I go through them and I check them as often as I can. So if you need to reach out to somebody, if you want to reach out to me, you're more than welcome to. I know that this is like a touchy subject and much different than a lot of the things that I've put on this channel before, but I felt like it was very, very important, especially based on the response that I got from that tweet. It was unexpected, the response, but it showed me that this was something that needed to be talked about. So I hope that, if you're out of a toxic situation, I hope that what I've said helps you find some sort of peace and helps you on your healing journey. And if you're still in a toxic situation and you're trying to get out, just know that you are loved and you can get out. and you can reach out to others to help you, and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will not be stuck with the trauma, you know, being a dark cloud over your head forever. You can come out on top, and you can relearn to love again, not just others, but yourself. It's very, very possible, and it's worth the journey that it takes to get there. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for supporting me. Just thank you for taking time out of your day to, you know, look at my content and watch my videos and spend time with me. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate your support. If you like more videos like this on this topic, kind of, I guess, relationship advice or self-healing or that sort of thing, let me know in the comments, because I can definitely add more videos like this to my channel and continue to talk more about this topic. So just let me know in the comments. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.